Hey guys, it is Sarah Grace Vogler from sarahgracevogler.com, where I help build brands that are real enough to connect and strong enough to sell. I'm just going to go over a beginner's tutorial for the Showit platform. I do have my two dogs here, so you might see them walk back and forth, or you might hear them, so just ignore them if you do. So first we're going to walk through the tools that you need to become familiar with Showit as you work on your website template. This isn't a comprehensive overview of all the tools that you're going to use, but it should be enough to get you started. So once you are in your Showit account and you have either added a template that you purchased or you chose a free template to begin with, you're going to see a few different things. Let me log in here. First, you are going to see the mobile version of your website, which is right over here. Then you're going to see the desktop version, which is right over here. You're going to see over on the right options to style individual elements. And we'll talk about those in a minute. And on the left, you see either the actual page and all the different elements in that page, or you might see a site tab open and you'll see different sections of the site. All right, so the site is broken up into different sections. First, you'll see pages, and these are the actual pages of your website, like the home page, the about page, any details pages, or contact page. Next, you will see the blog templates, and these are not actual pages where you add blog content, except for the sidebars and the headers and footers. These are just blog templates that exist to communicate to WordPress the styles that you want your blog post to show, but you actually write the blog post content within WordPress. You'll get a login to WordPress with Showit whenever you get a template, or you migrate your blog over. And these are where you would just go in and say, I want my title to have this, that's my blog. I want my title to have this navy color to it, this script font, and I want these to be the images on my website, and it's for them to be this size. So that's what you're going to use the blog templates for. And then lastly, you'll see over here, you'll see site canvases. And site canvases are canvases that when you edit them on one page, they appear on any other place that they are on your website. They'll be updated as well. So that's what a site canvas is used for. And you can tell that it's a site canvas because when you're on the actual page, let me go up here to the home page. You can see like these diagonal lines here on the screen, and you won't be able to edit it the way that you would a regular canvas. You'll actually have to click on it and make your edits there. And this is really helpful to make sure that your navigation is always linking to the right places, especially if you update names or URLs or any of those sorts of things. Now, design settings. Any page can be duplicated and renamed and used as a different page. So if you like the format of the About page and want to use it as a different page, you can duplicate that right here and rename it and use it as a different page. You can set any page to be your home page. So you would just click right. To set it as your home page, sorry. Well, I guess it's not showing that option because it is the page. So here we go. If I wanted to set the About page as my home page, then it gives me that option to do that. So that's great. If you have a coming soon page and you don't want your home page to be live right away, I've got one somewhere. There we go. If you wanted that to be seen instead of your home page, then you could set this to be your home page for now until you can get your site up and running. You can also import both canvases and templates and pages from other templates. So if you wanted to add a page, you could choose here from add from library, or you could even choose a canvas from your library right there. or you can also add completely blank pages. You can see that right there, or canvases. So in the design settings tab, it's a great way to style a bunch of things all at once. So you can come in and change your colors. If you didn't like this navy color and wanted it to be a different color, we could click on it and either put the hex code that we already have, or we could pick the perfect shade of whatever and then hit OK. So you could do like that. I'm going to cancel that because I liked my current colors. But then you'll see that the heading has changed, and so all the headings will change unless they've been changed within the website individually. You can also style a bunch of your text styles at once. So in this type styles area, you can change all of your titles, your headings, your subheadings, your paragraphs. If you want it to look a certain way or have a certain font, this is a great place to begin because it's going to change. Most titles, fonts, and elements are all in the same spot. You can also change them on mobile. So right now it's selected to be changed desktop only, but you can also go over here to mobile and change it there as well. You can have it something different than your desktop, or you can have it the same. Then for fonts, you can also choose either Google fonts here that are free, or if you wanted to add a font, let's say, sure, whatever this. You can choose the font style. You can choose multiple font styles if you wish, and you can just hit add Google font, and then you would hit save to save that as one of your fonts. I'm gonna click out of it because I don't like that. And you can also upload any fonts, like if you bought premium fonts, that's what all of these are. You can actually go to Font Squirrel to make sure that it is converted to a WAF file. And then once it is, then you can upload that file here and have your premium fonts if you wish. I would recommend deleting all the fonts that your template is loaded with to start with and then adding your own, because Showit is going to recognize your new fonts that you added, and so that's a great way to start overriding the fonts without having to click every single element and making them the new font. Also, we're going to head into an actual page and a canvas and start talking through some of the elements. Let me go here. All right. So for the sake of keeping my screen as big as possible for you guys to see what I'm talking about, I'm going to hide the mobile view. Actually, I'm just going to click on that right there. But when you're designing, I would recommend working on both the desktop and the mobile view at the same time, because not every element is going to be updated when you design on both mobile and desktop. And I've done this before, and a lot of people have done this before, where they're just whittling away over here on the desktop view, and then they look over here to the mobile view, and it's a hot mess. So I recommend when you're actually designing to do both desktop and mobile at the same time. All right, so adding elements, there are 3 little tools here for adding different elements to your page. All right, the first one is text right here. So, sorry. This is where you would add the titles that we just looked at, that we styled over in the font palette, or your headings, or if you want to add paragraphs, all that is done here. And you can make the boxes bigger if you want. You can move them. Oops, I moved the wrong thing. Sorry. You can move them. And so if you want this heading to be centered, or it is centered, but if you want it to be aligned left, then you can come over here to the styling over here in the text style palette and left it. You can also change the font style, or excuse me, the font size right here, just making it smaller. So it's set at 100 right now. You can change it to 75, whatever you want to do. You can choose different colors right here. So this is automatically going to show my color palette that I chose in the design settings, but you can change it to whatever color you want. And you can pick a custom color. You can add headers and add different colored links within the text. So it's easy to see that here. If you wanted to come into, let me delete that. If you wanted to come into this paragraph and make a certain part of it a link, then you just highlight the text that you want to make a link, and then click on this link icon right here and set it to be a page link or a canvas link, so you can choose those right there. Or if you want it to go to a separate URL, you can choose that right there. So let's say I want this to go to my About page. I can choose that, and now it's become a link. And you can see that it's underlined. If you want the color, if you want it to be a color when it was linked, you could set that right here. As far as inline links, you can change the color. And then you can also change the hover color as well. And you can get rid of the underlining if you wish. I'm going to go back because I don't want that to be linked to my About page. All right, in this next tool right here, you'll have the option to add different elements to your website. So this is where you can add a rectangular shape. You would just click on the rectangle right here. Sorry. Oh, I think it's adding a bunch of rectangles on a different. There we go. So you just click on the rectangle, and then you can change the size of it. You can come up here and set the style on the right. And if you wanted it to be a different color and then have a different border color, you can choose that here. And I wanted to show you that, like, if I'm changing the style of it, it does not get changed on mobile. So you see how it's covering the whole canvas pretty much. So that's why it's important to set your mobile and your desktop at the same time when you're designing. Another element, let me get rid of that square. Another element that we could add here is an icon. Showit has built-in icons, so it automatically does a smiley face thing. But it's got all of these icons here that you can choose from, or you can also upload your own SVG icon, and it gives you instructions here at this link. So that's how you would change. If you wanted to choose one of these show icons, you could do that here. So they've got like social media or email or your cart or stuff like that you could choose from as far as icons. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that. You can also choose to add an embed tool. So if I were to add this here and double click on it, then you can see it gives you the option to enter in code. It's completely optional because Showit is, you can see Doug. Hey, this is Paul Simon. You can see the option to add code, but Showit is a code-free platform, so it's completely optional. An example of something that I added code to would be like this typewriter thing here where it says creatives, photographers, bloggers, content. That is code that I entered in to make that animation happen. You can you can embed forms from like Flowdesk or whatever your email platform is. You can embed Instagram feeds. I've got my Instagram feed down here at the bottom, or other social media feeds. And I'll show you how to do that in another video. If you're having trouble with embedding, I would try reaching out to Showit individually because different softwares might conflict with Showit in different ways. So if something isn't working or looking right, reach out to Showit and see if they can help. You can also embed videos directly from YouTube and Vimeo. Let me show you that. So actually, let me go back. I'll just do it here. So if you click on video, you can choose if you're on the right, whether you pick it from Vimeo or YouTube or upload it to your media library controls, or choose it to autoplay whenever the video starts and ends. You can resize it here like you can a shape. And there are lots of different options in here to make embedding a video really easily. I'm going to get rid of that. The last thing that you can do is add a gallery. So that's down here at the bottom. And you would use this gallery if you want to add like multiple images at once, like a slideshow or a gallery of your latest work. This might be something that photographers would use, especially. And within the gallery, there are different options to style it. So you could choose between a simple gallery. Whoops. Sorry. That's all my photos. A simple gallery, here we go. That would just be one image at a time that you click through, or you could choose a tiled gallery that looks like a Pinterest gallery, or the sliding gallery where all the images line up next to each other on the screen. And then to add your images, you would click on this right tab here. And then hit Manage Images. And you can either drag a whole bunch of images like over here, or you can select a few and click this little arrow, like you could do a few of them, just, yeah. And click that arrow and they all come over. So then you can hit save. And there is I chose the simple gallery, so it's only showing one at a time. But they're all there in the gallery right here, so you can't click through it, but if you change it to tiled gallery, you can see that they're all right here next to each other. There we go. And then you can come in and change the padding. This. You can change the padding right here, and you can change the background color right here if you want. Like full screen option, they can all have borders if you want to, so you can enable border and choose your border color and your width. There's lots of different options to style your galleries and really make them feel cohesive with your brand. So I'm going to get rid of that. I don't want that. The last tool in this option is to add a single image, or a couple images at once. So you would use this to add images like ones down here where it's just one image. And you can do that to click the media library, or you can drag your own image. And then hit add to page. All right, so when you click on an image, you will see that there's different styling options. You can add SEO descriptions, like if you click on here, the alt text right there, you can add which is good for SEO. We'll talk more about SEO and how to optimize your Showit site in a different video. But you can change how it's spelled or contained. If you slide that down, you'll see that it always stays the same aspect ratio right here. So if you can set it to stretch. Fill, that's what it is right now. Because at fill, as you can see, that you change its position within the frame. When you click on any individual element on the page, you have some options to change the positioning. So you can come over here to size and position. You can either center things within the canvas right here, both vertically and horizontally. You can set things to expand the full. You want an image to span the width of the website. Great way to do that. You can set images and text to be locked to the side of the canvas here, or to stretch and be locked on the side of the canvas. So within your actual website, you might just need to test out how these look. I'll show you if I were to kind of stretch this and pin it to the side. I'll show you what it looks like. See, it's kind of changed shape, but it stretched it and pinned it over to that side. So I'm going to change that so it goes back. Sorry, Paul Simon's back here chewing it away. All right, you can set different click actions right here to any images or text or boxes. So click actions would be like links. You could change them to URL or to send an email right here. There's lots of different options built in within the transitions palette. You can set things to like slide in or fade in or bounce out. This one is set to fade. So text will give you the option of changing the colors, whereas the image, you can only make it more transparent. And then the last palette is the effects palette right down here. This is where you can add opacity. If you wanted this to be a very light image, then you can do that, and then add rounded corners as well. You can do that right here. That's a complete oval. This is a great way to keep something in a circle shape without having to size it in Photoshop ahead of time. Alright, so that is the basics of Showit. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Questions about the video, let me know in the comments.